Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to another Pool Funding Insights and Updates. And today is our last one of these for the week. We're in the early part of September. Right now, it's the 12th of September for you that are in the US. For those of us on this side of the world, it's already the 13th of September. So, wow, the month goes by so fast. I mean, we're going to be at the end of September before we know it. But what I want to do today is I want to talk to you guys about how things are moving along with leads, or what should I say? Yeah, leads done for you. Okay. What am I talking about? Let me share my screen. So let's go into right here. That's great. Okay. We'll refresh that. Nice. So done for you lead generation, right? So you can click buy now and you can learn all about here. There's a short video, leader worked real-time phone verified leads. You can purchase either 5 leads for $50 or 10 leads for $100. Quantities are limited and existing user orders must be filled before user can make another purchase, okay? You just click purchase now and then you can place your orders. You can either choose 5 or 10. So, I mean, that's $10 each for a leader to come in and work those. We had our first sign up to the $10 pool today. I mean, it's a kind of a process to get someone in the $10 pool, guys. But we go to our Telegram group here. So the first thing we do is we drive people over to the pool match me. So we sign them up here first. Okay. The reason we do that is that the process to get someone signed up in pool funding is normally a 3-day process, and it involves maybe even a day or two before that of moving funds from paper into digital money, right, guys? But with pool match me, it's literally a 5-minute process to sign up there. Okay. And then we can have that person take on a challenge. And the challenge that we want them to take is what we call the 24-hour challenge. And in order to win the challenge, you have to sign up 2 people for free into Pool Match Me. Okay. So a person signs up, as soon as they've completed their profile, then we point out to them, you see, you're on a timer right now. You see, you can get a badge. Now, the person that we signed up today, she got very excited about getting that badge. After I told her how good it was to get that badge, she wanted to have the badge. Let's see, is Lisa here? There you are, Lisa. Back me up here a little bit, Lisa. You're on the call with me on that one, right? I mean, she might be busy doing something else. Lisa?
I was on there with you, Days.
Okay. But were you on there when I was talking about the 24-hour challenge?
Yes,
Okay, good. Yeah, so she was very excited about taking that challenge, wasn't she?
she is. And
Yeah.
she's very excited because she got her 3 people already. I talked to her tonight.
Okay, so she had 3 people in mind, and then she was going to start introducing people to you. Did she do that
And
already?
she did. And we had a Zoom call and she got them all 3 excited. They're all coming in tomorrow.
And are they coming in on the Pool Match Me, and they're signing up below her on the Pool Match Me?
Yes,
Okay. And so she's going to get that badge, isn't she?
she is.
Well, how cool is that? So look,
That's awesome.
so I want you to think about, a lead done for you. Okay. You're not just getting a lead. You're getting a lead done for you. Okay. And at this point, even myself, I'm involved in the process. So I put some of my time into this particular close, and I helped close it, but only because I'm teaching the way I want things to be closed. Does that make sense, guys? And once I've taught the leaders how to close things the way I want them to close it, then I don't need to be there anymore. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Do the work one time, get paid for it over and over again. It works at every level, guys. So I'm teaching the leaders how I want these leads to be closed for you and for you and you and you, all the people that paid for these leads done for you. And I feel very confident, very, very confident that if you signed up 10 people, I mean, that if you paid for 10 of these leads, I feel like we can deliver one sign up out of them into the $10 pool. Okay. So just based on my experience so far, but we'll see how it goes, because every day I'm shifting through different data, and we'll see how that goes, give me some flexibility to change my mind as we go here, guys. But all I can say is the price point of $10 per lead done for you is dirt cheap, guys. And by the end of September, it will be $20 per lead. Okay. It's not going to stay at 10. It's not going to make it into October. It's not going to stay at only, $10 a lead by the time we get into October. It's going to be 20. So you're going to pay $100 for 5 and you're going to pay $200 for 10. Okay. That's going to be the price for sure in the month of October. And that's not even going to be the remaining price. It's going to escalate. These leads are not something that you want to look at as like, okay, good solution. I don't have to do anything else. Do not see these leads done for you that way. That would be the same person that say, oh, you mean in this little bottle right here, I got all my vitamin K, all my vitamin A, all my vitamin D, all my C and E, right? And I just take that every day. And I got all my vitamins, and I got my calcium, and I got my iron, and it's all in this little tablet,
Yeah,
And
okay.
would you think that that's enough, to live on? Even if it had every single thing, right? Is it enough? We call that a supplement, guys, for a reason. You're still going to eat food. Am I right?
Of course.
The leads done for you are a supplement, not the core deal. Okay. I'm going to come back around and talk about the core deal right at the end of this. But I do want to encourage more of you to purchase leads done for you at the cheap price of only $10 each while you can. You're going to make a choice, either $50 or $10. And once you make that choice, you can't undo it once you pay. You have to wait till your leads are processed and then they're done. Oh, wait. Well, how long does it take to process the leads? Well, we've been asking people to give us 10 days because we just started this whole thing. It's brand new, right? And think about it. If we sent you some leads, if we sent you, even if we gave you just 5 leads, here's 5 leads, right? How long would it take you to talk to all 5 of those people, guys? Are you going to talk to them all in the first day? What do you think? If you were delivered 5 leads today, are you going to talk to 5 people today? Most likely not. And why is that? You got to catch people at the right time. This timing is everything, isn't it? That's the main reason why you're probably not going to talk to 5 people. You might actually get their voicemail. You can send them a text message or an email. You have all that, the way that you have the means to do that. But that doesn't mean that you've talked to them. And just because you talk to them doesn't mean they're going to sign up on the same day, right? And so, right here, we've been working these leads for just under, it's been under 10 days so far, right? But now we're starting to see signups. So we've gotten several people that have showed interest in what we're doing. But we are now trying to get them into the interview, right? And right now I'm the one doing the interview, right? And so I'll be able to do that, no problem, for quite a few of these people, just because I want to be able to have the leaders watch me create a pattern, right? And let them see that I'm not just all theory, I am practical. What I say can and does work, okay? Right? And I want to be able to demonstrate. And that way we can duplicate that. Now, so yeah, I want to tell you something else. We have already purchased from the vendor more leads than actually you have paid for. So if you take all of you that have put in an order already for leads done for you, well, we have already paid the vendor for more leads than what you have paid for. That makes sense, guys? You understand? So basically, you guys should pick up the slack. You guys should get out there and promote leads done for you. And please promote it with the caveat, don't expect something any sooner than 10 days. It's a supplement after all. Let the supplement work its way through a pipeline of a process pipeline, okay? And let it get from one end to the other. And at some point, we're going to come to a conclusion. Either the lead is not a fit, and you'll get all the information. You'll have all the information when we deliver the lead to you. It'll have their name and their phone number, all that. You'll have everything. And you'll also hear at what stage the lead came to an end, like it wasn't a fit, okay? You'll learn about that. It'll be a note on that lead, okay? Still a lead worked for you, right? Am I right? And it was worked for you by someone with probably greater experience than you in pool funding. One of our leaders is working the lead after all, okay? And then the next thing is that if it turns into a sign up, then we're hand delivering that sign up to you in a Zoom call where we actually introduce you to the person signing up. And we instruct you as to what level they're choosing to sign up. Now they have choices here, guys. They got choices. And as far as I'm concerned, the choices go like this. They have the $1 pool. And pretty much if they're going to do that, I want them to come in with $30. So the smallest we're talking about, and we're talking to Americans here, guys. We're not calling people all over the world. We're talking to Americans. That's the entire list is American. Okay. All of these leagues, 100% of them, USA. Okay. So these people are USA. So their very bottom choice is get started in pool funding for $30. But even at that $30, we'll give them a choice. Do you want to take that $30 and have one account? Or do you want to take that $30 and have 3 accounts, right? Now, if you do one account, that $30 is going to last an extra week or so, okay? Like I said, there's an operating budget, right? So we make that very clear to them that, hey, you could do one account and, that's going to roll out and it's going to last you this much time, making payments every day. And your job is to get 2 people signed up before that time runs out, okay? The other thing is you can sign up with 3 accounts and you have like an ongoing advantage there because now every time the pool does a rotation, you're getting 2 contributions instead of 1, right? In that time that you don't have signups yet, people, referrals. So we make that clear to them at that level. So they can do 1 or they can do the sub account, which is a total of 3 accounts. A main account plus 2 sub accounts. The sub accounts qualify the main account in a matter of 3 days. And that $30 will last, roughly about 7 days, right? So in that case, they got to hurry up and get 2 people even sooner doing it that way. Okay, if they have sub accounts, they got to get 2 people sooner, or at least 1, as another strategy. But again, we want people to hurry. But the cool part about starting them in Pool Match Me, if they get that 24-hour badge, my confidence is super high. They're not going to have a problem getting the 2 signups, within a week or 2. Okay. If they don't get the 24-hour badge, my concern is higher that they're going to struggle. Does that make sense, guys? So that we're testing the waters before they spend any money, right? So that's the lowest level. And we're not targeting there because the question we ask them is, how do you want to get paid? Okay. Do you want to get paid in $1 bills or do you want to get paid in $10 bills? And when presented that question today to the person we signed up today, she told us that she wanted to get paid in $10 bills, guys. So then we naturally talked about the $10 pool. But where she comes from in her particular situation, 300 was not going to be an option for her. So she actually chose to come in with 1 account in the $10 pool and just hurry up and get some referrals in there with her, okay, in the $10 pool. and she's on it, right, Steve? She's on it.
Right.
So
That's
looking
right.
looking pretty good. Okay. And you know, so we don't have to have, you know, people that are, you know, she is not someone you would say is a business person. She has no business experience, by the way. Um, and she's not, you know, someone that's got a lot of money. She's got very little money, right? But the beauty of pool funding is we could take someone that's, you know, right there at the ground level of society. You know what I'm saying? The biggest baseline of where mankind sits in the US, and we can work with them and say, it's okay. You don't have to be all that in order to succeed here. You just have to be willing to go through training. Are you willing to do that? And I got a firm yes. And so basically, her sponsor is the first person she looks to as the trainer. So as we connect her to the sponsor is the first person they go to for training. And then the sponsor has other people to support that, you know, as they help that new person along. So Leads Done For You is a great supplement. Okay. Pool Match Me is another great supplement. You're not paying for leads in Pool Match Me. You're paying for 2 signups. You get 2 matches, however long it takes you to finally connect and get the right chemistry with, you know, the right people. We've got a whole group of network marketers coming in. There was a company failure local here to the Philippines, and there's a whole bunch. The main leader that loves Pool Match Me and bringing everybody from that failed company into Pool Match Me. These are all network marketers, okay? And so that's coming into Pool Match Me. So for $100, you get two of those, okay? And work with them at the dollar level and help them scale up. I did it with DJ. I was able to help him scale from the $1 pool to the $10 pool, and he's very excited. And you can go check out his story on my YouTube channel. You see all the trainings I did with him. And then, so this is the supplement side. But what is the core thing here, guys? So I got a question for you before we, you know, get down to the core. Because some people seem to be confused. And that is, how much does it pay to wait? You know, have you known anybody to get paid, you know, for waiting? Yeah. Is there a job that pays you to wait? Is there some way, is there a business of waiting to get paid to wait? You guys ever heard of that?
Nope.
I haven't. No such thing, right? So why do people come in to pool funding and they're looking for any excuse they can come up with to wait? Oh, I got my supplement on the way, so I'm going to wait. I don't want to talk to anybody until I get my supplement. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? You're going to be waiting at least 10 days, and it might take even longer than that. And by the time you've waited, you missed out on an opportunity for some personal growth if you didn't wait, if you actually went to work. Okay, if you guys could nail down the main work, the number one activity, number one thing we do in pool funding and that we call work, the work we do once and get paid for it over and over again, what is that work? What is the work? Anybody want to tell me what the work is?
Recruiting.
Okay, recruiting. I would say that's definitely a part of it. Okay, but it's more than recruiting, because after we recruit them, we don't neglect them, do we? What good is it
No,
to
we work
recruit
with them.
somebody and then neglect them right after you got them signed up, right? So it's really a team building type of work, isn't it? Where we're very much concerned about having a solid relationship with our team. It doesn't have to be a big team to make you rich. You know, 4 people will make you a millionaire in pool funding. That's not a lot of people. $1 million is a lot of money. 4 people is not a lot of people. 4 solid relationships that you build, that you work, you and your team scale up from one pool to the next. You get up to that $1,000 pool together, all of you plus the 4, and you're all doing well. Okay, meaning that there's a team below each of them, right? Because you can't be directly connected to the pool and be in a safe place. The people that are directly connected to the pool, they have what we call an operating budget. That is the buffer. Without that operating budget, there's no buffer. Does that make sense, guys? So if you're directly connected to the pool doesn't pay you every day. So you better have an operating budget to hold you over on the days that you don't get paid. Does that make sense? That's what the operating budget's for.
Yes, sir.
That's how it works. But in most opportunities to build a team, whether it's Amway or Herbalife or you name a company, they don't have any way to, give relief to the bottom of the structure, right? So all those people that don't have any sales or any recruits below them at all, they're getting paid zero. Am I right?
Yep.
But they still have like a monthly obligation. Last time I was in those kind of companies, I was paying a couple $100 a month. You know what I'm saying? And it's an obligation in order just to maintain the basic status. Otherwise there was a penalty, right, for starting over, right? So yeah, there's no relief. But in pool funding, we offer relief. That pool and the market bringing money into that pool, that is giving relief at the very bottom of our structure. Okay. So we have some great advantages here, but you cannot get paid to wait. We need people to understand it ain't about waiting. It's about working. And the work is team building. And you come to training to learn how to team build. Is the training good? Are you learning how to build by coming to the training?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because we want people to know one of two things about pool funding, just to keep it as simple as possible. When people ask me, what is pool funding? Well, we consider ourselves an alternative to the bank. When you go to the bank for funding, you got to pay it back. With pool funding, you don't have to pay it back. Which sounds better to you? Shut up. Which sounds better to you? That's simple, right? Oh, well, gee, how do you do that? Well, we're tapping into about 400 billion right now from the market at the moment. We can probably get more than that, but right now that's what we're tapping into. We're using the money from the market to make all this happen for our members. Whoa, that's interesting. Have you got their attention? Yeah. And if you're willing to contribute to the success of what we're doing, you could be invited in, because it is by special invitation only to be a member. It's like an exclusive thing. It's kind of special because it's by invite only. You can't just join. You have to be invited in, Ooh, really? Can I get an invitation? Right? Yeah. So there you go. So that's simple. And then you can say, if you look at this from a point of view of like, you're trying to get some money because, people think, okay, I work and then I get money, right? That's how they usually think. And they think like the job. Well, in most cases, when you look at a job, you're looking at trading your time for money. And how's that working out right now? Terrible. We know that's working out terrible. Okay. It's like standing in quicksand. If that's how you're relying on paying for your livelihood and your lifestyle moving forward, you are in quicksand, my friend. If that's all you got working for you as a job, you are in quicksand. Whatever lifestyle you got to enjoy this year, I doubt that the pay increases that you may or may not enjoy next year are going to be anywhere close to keeping up with the cost of, the cost of inflation against it. You get a 10% increase, that'd be huge. I mean, you hardly hear anybody getting a 10% increase in pay as a pay raise. What I'm normally hearing is people getting a pay increase of maybe 1%, maybe 2% in a year. Does that sound about right to you guys?
25 cents, $1.
Yeah, I mean, it's all percentile, right? And so it might sound like a lot. Oh, you're getting $4,000 more this year, right? But that might only be 5%. But if inflation, if the real inflation that they don't tell you, the unreported inflation, the cost of food, the cost of things you're going to buy anyway, the real things that you pay for, if those things go up by 20%, and you only got a pay increase of 5%, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that you got to cut your lifestyle back by 15%. So now you have to have 15% less of a lifestyle next year than the one that you enjoyed this year, right? Quicksand, right? So guys, we got to wake up to that. There's a better way. It's like put the business cap on and forget about the job thing. That's the past. Think like a job guy going forward, and you're really going to you're going to suffer. Okay. The suffering for the job mentality people is going to increase each year moving forward. Okay. They're going to suffer greatly. So you have to have a business mind now. You got to be sharper. You got to be smarter. The world is demanding it now. You can't get by on just getting by. The world is saying, wake up. And if you willfully refuse to wake up, then we know the result is you're going to suffer. Something's got to give, right? And most likely it's going to be a retirement plan. In most cases, that's where people cut. They cut, we're like, I can't save it now because I can't put that away for retirement. I can't put this in, put it into some sort of investment to take care of me in my retirement. And most people will take, 20, 30 years of not contributing to their retirement and then end up getting to the age where they need to retire. And then now they got nothing to retire on, right? This is so normal. It's not even funny, right? It has become very normal. But it's also a sad, sad reality, And why do most people never make it to the age 70s? Because they run out of money. In my opinion, people don't die because of poor health. They die because they ran out of money. What do you think? What do you guys think about that idea? People dying because they run out of money.
It's brutal.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't live in a society where the kids take care of mom and dad when they get old. We don't live in that society anymore, do we?
Nope.
That society's long gone, right? The kids are like, there ain't a spare bedroom for mom and dad. What is she talking about? I'm just struggling to make sure I'm okay. That's what the kid's thinking, Yep. And that's how it is in the West. Not everywhere like that, but it's in the West, it's definitely like that. So yeah, people die because they run out of money. That's what I'm figuring out at this point. And so the job thing, not a good option. You know what's a better option? Getting paid again and again and again for the work you did one time. Go get 4 people and have a solid relationship with those 4 people. That's the work. Okay? To me, it sounds like fun. It don't even sound like work. Okay? You got to hang out with your buddies and make money. Like, wow. And that's called work? Oh, wow. That's cool. I'll do that. And then I'll turn that into an income that goes on and on because, let me tell you something. You're going to give me $1,000 every single day? All right? Man, you're coming to all my parties, I'll invite you on every trip I go on. You want to come with me? I'm going over here now. You want to come with? You're going to give me $1,000 every day, and I got 4 of you to do that, right? I'm going to make sure you're getting the royal treatment. If you're going to give me $1,000 every day. Does that make sense, guys? Relationship building. That's the attitude. I'm giving you the attitude right now of what the relationship feels like. Okay, because it's got to be reciprocal. Right? Maybe you had to take care of them at one point. Maybe they were struggling to get their first 2 and you had to carry them for a month or 2, right? You had to make their $10 payment every day for them. But every time you gave them $10, they just sent it right back to you. We call that sunblock, by the way. If you go to my YouTube channel, look up the video called Sunblock, that's what that is. And they'll never forget that. They'll never forget that. And when they're paying you $1,000 every day, they're going to remember the sunblock when you're giving them $10 a day. Right? I know it sounds crazy. You give them $10 and they're going to give you $1,000, but the $1,000 came from the other people, right? It's no sweat. It's what came out of pocket that matters. So this is all kind of, we work together, and that's the work. Okay. And I'm going to get into more training next week where I'm going to talk about the layers, the work you do building the 4, the work you do building the 16 below the 4, and the work you do building the 64 below the 16, because it's different kind of work on each layer. And I want to get real specific next week on what that work entails. Because when you're really clear on what the work is, it's easier to do the work. Okay. Do the work once, get paid over and over again. It's way better than a job. Way better than a job. There you go. What is pool funding? It's a way to get money that you don't have to pay back. Compared to the bank, it's a better deal. What do we do in pool funding? Well, it's better than a job. Okay. You just have to build a small team. That's the work we do. And you help elevate that team through our pools. So they elevate from one pool to the next until they get to the top pool, and you move together. And that's the work. And you do that one time, at each level, and you get paid for it ongoing, forever. You just maintain that. The beautiful thing about this idea of pool funding is that it's not to getting wealth and then sacrificing all your time with it. See, the guy getting wealthy as an attorney, okay, he doesn't have a minute to spare because he get paid, whatever. Maybe he's a high buck attorney getting paid $2,000 an hour. Great. Maybe he can make $10,000 in a day or $20,000 in a day. Okay. But that's time away from the family. That's time away from the life that he wants to have. Does that make sense? Because when he stops putting in that time, the $2,000 an hour stops too, doesn't it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the surgeon, right? They're at the hospital all the time, right? Yeah, they got big money, but they don't have the quality of life to go with it. Same thing with the engineer, right? Yeah, maybe they're making great money. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're spending probably over 40 hours a week away from their family. And they're not just doing it in their 30s and their 40s, they're doing it in their 50s and their 60s. And if they're lucky, someone lets them do it in their 70s, But at some point, someone wants to stick a gun to your head and say, just stop it, okay? Just stop now, okay? Quit while you're ahead, At some point, someone's going to put the gun to your head, and that's what's going to happen. So, that whole deal, the whole job thing doesn't make sense when you look at the reality of it. What makes sense is what we're talking about here. Creating something that can last, that can improve the world and make it better. And we can move away from this whole idea of economics based on managing debt. I think that's hurting us more than helping us. It might have made sense for a minute. It's always fun to get a credit card for the first time, but it's never fun when you max that baby out and you're having any kind of issue making a monthly payment. Okay. Right. It just isn't that fun at that point anymore. Okay. So managing debt is a bad way to go, economically speaking. Building equity, that's what we need. We need the idea of pool funding to catch on so that we say, you know what? It's about building equity, and there's plenty of money in that market to support it. Okay. That market up there, all that money that's been sitting up there idle, it's like, here's the money in the market, just sitting there idle in the cloud, doing nothing. Da-di-da-di-da, Mr. Money sitting in the market, not doing anything any good. It's not going from the grocery store over to the vending machine, over to the shoe shop, over to the clothing store. It is not moving. It's in the cloud, okay? It's in the cloud. It's not serving the economy anymore, okay? It's not circulating, it's called the velocity of money. It is no longer participating as a mechanism of the velocity of money. It has moved up into the market, into stagnation. And that's where all the money is. That's where it's at. And there's plenty of it to bring back down into the economy. And that's why building equity, build a team. Now you've got something that you can call that you can say, this is equity here. That team represents equity. That makes sense? Right? And it's something that's real. Okay. So that's my whole, I know we took a lot of time today, more than normal, but it's the last training of the week. And I wanted to get this off my chest. So thank you for letting me. All right, David, I promised you that I'd get back to you. Do you still have a comment or question that you'd like to put here?
Oh, about his lights being on in his truck?
That's Dina. I think she's talking about something else.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was about. Another perspective along with the house analogy is like a car. You use the 50s and 60s. My dad was original owner of a 66 Mustang, which was barely 3,500 back then with the 289 engine, convertible, pony interior and all that. That same car, that Mustang is selling now, which is junk. It looks good, but it's junk compared to what it used to be. Is like $25,000-$30,000.
It's plastic now. It's plastic now, whereas it was quality materials before, right?
Right. It was 100% metal and bumper, no plastic anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you had like plastic interior somewhere, but it was pretty much leather interior or vinyl interior that was quality. It's not the garbage they put out, but
Yeah.
$3,500 versus $35,000, and we're talking from the 50s to 2024. Who can afford a car today compared to back then?
Yeah.
They had it way better back then.
Well, that's the
with the
strip down.
job.
I don't even think that's electric windows if you're going to pay that little for it. But yeah.
I don't know where you live, but down in Australia, those cars are going for $250,000.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah, I bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee over here. I bought one. Probably would have paid 70,000 or something like that for it. It was all decked out. It had every feature imaginable. I could even turn my seats, heat up my seats if I wanted to, But yeah, 70,000 if I bought it in the US, but I paid close to 100,000 for it here in the Philippines. Paid premium to have it here, But love being in that car. It's a great ride.
And your 4 coworkers at your job, you don't get paid on them. You have 4 people on your team here, you get paid.
That's right.
Very different. You could have your best coworkers or your least best coworkers. You still ain't getting paid for jack. You can refer them. You might get a $25 referral fee one time, never again for that person if they last 90 days.
Right.
Then you get paid, but you don't get it ongoingly for the next 20 years and the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's the system for you. Love it. Thanks for highlighting those points, David. Appreciate that. Okay, we've got now the Penthouse Wealth Elevator. Campbell got his hand up. He turned the printing press off for a minute for an invitation to take a trip up to the Penthouse. Okay, let's hear all about it. Go ahead, Campbell.
Doing a little bit of research, I discovered that crowdfunding is actually booming, and even more so after the COVID debacle. But crowdfunding, even though it's
Are you saying booming or burning?
booming,
Booming.
absolutely booming, yeah.
Booming, yeah.
The interesting thing with that is it's a one-shot deal, one and done. Whereas
One and done.
here, it's ongoing. So that to me,
to me, the crowdfunding is kind of like a beggar almost. You get in there and say, yeah, here's my situation. Help me get money for this. Like almost like you're begging for money. Whereas with pool funding, it's like building equity. You're building a team, and you're going to work for that team ongoing, right? So the feeling is much different. You still have to try to get even $1 out of crowdfunding without any referrals. It ain't going to happen, guys. Would you agree with me on that, Campbell? If you go to any crowdfunding platform and say, okay, here's my situation. If you don't bring your personal referrals into it yourself, do you think any money's going to come in?
well, it's a one and done deal, no levels at all.
Yeah. Because most people won't even look at a campaign if it starts out at 0. So you got to go to your friends and family anyway and say, hey, come contribute to this and help me get this, where people start looking at my deal,
The other thing I liked about what you're doing is that it's scalable.
Scalable.
Yeah, and you know, it's progressive. And that's what really attracted me to it, that you can progress up to the penthouse and it's scalable, meaning that you can operate with more than 4 referrals. And you
Yeah.
can scale it up.
You're not limited. Yeah. You can, each account holds 4, so you can have unlimited accounts, but make sure that you can, you know, it's all about relationships. These should be, you know, accounts built on relationships, not, you know, it's not like sign them up and neglect them. That never worked in anything. You have to have relationships in a team build. Great points there, Campbell. Appreciate that. And you're coming from which side of Australia?
On the West Coast,
You're on the West Coast. Okay. Good.
Western Australia,
You're Western Australia because
the mining country.
Sydney's on the east, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
about 4,000 kilometers away.
And then in the southern part, is that the south? That's the Gold Coast. Is that the south?
No, that's the top up in the northeast.
Oh, that's the top. Okay.
Yeah, the Gold Coast is south of me.
The south of you. Okay. And where are
In
you at,
Brisbane.
Lindsay?
In Brisbane, in Queensland. The state of
Brisbane,
Queensland.
Queensland. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're over on the west side there, Campbell. And so, is it populated over there in the west, or is it less populated?
Well, Australia's is like no one at home. I mean, there's only about 5% of the landmass.
I was talking about the
occupied.
kangaroos. Plenty of kangaroos over in your part.
Well, we don't see them
Koala
that
bears
often.
here.
What's
It's a
that?
myth.
Oh,
We've
you
got
know,
lots of koalas on this side.
oh, koalas. Okay. Yeah. Every time I think about Australia, I just think about the kangaroo, and it's like such a cool creature. You know, just the idea of it. It's kind of for someone that's never touched one before. But you guys,
Yeah.
like, whatever. You know.
Have you seen them on YouTube? How they're boxing people?
Yeah, I saw a guy that got his dog away from one of them, and
Yeah, that's the one.
he hit it to get his dog back. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the kangaroo's about to rip the dog's head off. You know.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, they're so strong. Their muscles too. on
They
some of
yeah,
those- on
they
those
look
bucks,
muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got a friend in Texas or somewhere over there. He's got a problem with black bears, and I said, just like he said, stay away from black bears. I say to people, stay away from kangaroos and koalas.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
koalas
can,
can be-
they
well,
can
koalas
gut
can
you,
be
right?
quite
They
vicious.
just gut you, right?
Well, they got really, really sharp claws. They might look
Mm.
cute, but they're not. You
Yeah,
know?
they can be
Yeah.
really vicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But have they ever eaten one of us? That's the question. Have a koala ever eaten a human? Had a human for lunch?
No, that's the crocodile.
Oh,
We got
that's
plenty
right.
of that too.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, I still want to visit Australia anyway, so you haven't talked me out of it yet, so it's all good.
I won't be doing that.
All right, good deal, guys. Well, great meeting, and a long one. It's been recorded, and I appreciate everybody that showed up and hung in there for the whole time. Got quite a few of us here, but we're not going to get back together till Sunday. So the next time we get back together will be Sunday Eastern Standard Time. It'll be Monday my time, you know. So we'll see you then for another insights and update training on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for coming. Let's go ahead and have everybody unmute and say goodbye and see you later.
Ace, we appreciate you, man.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Ace.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.